as everybody know, this is Women's Month. So for Women's Month, I really wanted to highlight women. And what better to highlight than women brokers? But before we get started, I want to actually introduce Madam President Bria Cotton, who's on the line with us. And she's going to give us a little bit and maybe a couple of updates that's going on with CAREB. She just got back from midwinter too. So go away.
Yes, yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Hour and Happy Women's History Month. I did just get back from midwinter and actually recovering from all of the information and excitement around National that's coming up. So we were be looking out for a recap of midwinter on our social media and e-blast outlets. Also, if you haven't seen, we are having a speed networking membership mixer coming up on March 14th. So on March 14th from 6 to 8, we will be having a membership mixer, and this is an opportunity for our 11 local boards to network with one another as with real estate professionals, our affiliates, business professionals. So feel free to actually invite your business professionals in your industry, in your neighborhoods to come and join us, because maybe they'll get so excited about our networking and opportunities and hearing more about NARAB and CAREB, they will become a member of your local board. So looking forward to that. In addition, Realtist Week is right around the corner, so I'm very excited to see what all the local boards have in store for Realtist Week. We'll be collecting all the information from all the 11 boards and sending it out to our contact database so that we can support you all in your efforts during Realtist Week. Thank you, Parisha.
Yes, no, thank you very much. And you know what? Recording. Okay, wanted to make sure recording is in progress. Okay.
No.
Now we are missing one panelist. So if worst case scenario, would you mind being the third broker that we ask the questions to, Madam President?
Of course I
Oh,
will.
okay. And then if she joins us, then we'll go ahead and introduce her in. But I definitely want to have three panelists on there, three opinions, three outlooks of what is going on in the brokerage world with our women out here in real estate. So the first person I want to introduce, and I know I asked for your bios, but I'm also one of the ones that want to give you an opportunity to showcase yourself as well. And I know some of us a little shy, but come out of your shell. So we are going to start with Miss Denise Mathis. She is a broker out of San Diego, and I wanted her to tell us a little bit about herself before we go into her panels. And I'm going to start pinning you guys as well.
Thank you, Parisha, and thank you, everybody, for the invitation. It's an honor always to be in front of my fellow realtors. My name's Denise Mathis. I am the broker owner of DEM Financial Services and Real Estate. We're an independent broker here in the city of San Diego, and our service area is from the U.S.-Mexican border up to Southwest Riverside. I've been in business for over 34 years. I received my broker's license in 2008. I had a team concept before it was popular. I do believe in education. I do have the alphabet soup behind me. All of my agents have to have a commitment to community service in order to join the team. And that's my story for now that I'm sticking to.
All right. Thank you, Denise. You look exceptionally well too. Your whole outlook is very, very pretty. Your hair looks very nice.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll send you a check, girl.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. And then, and thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming. And then Sharon, Miss Robinson, our Northern California broker. Please give us a little bit about yourself, if you can.
Okay, I can. Thank you for inviting me, Parisha. I really appreciate it. My name is Sharon Robinson. I am a broker associate working under the brokerage HomeSmart Eye Care Realty in Northern California. I don't know what else to say. I cover the Northern California area. That's about it.
You're a JD. You're Yes. So
Yes,
you have
that
a
was good.
different
I was
practice.
going to talk about that on one of my answers to the questions, how that came about. I'm a law school graduate. I've taken the bar several times and I could not pass it.
We focus
But
only
the
on
legal
positivity here.
industry, I know, but I didn't. So, but
You
I
will.
may in the future. You never
Yes, you
know.
will.
That's
You
a
will.
positive thing because I'm
Right.
still working in that industry sometimes. My passion has been the legal aspects, and I know that real estate has a lot of legal areas within it. And so that's how I got involved to start with. And I'll tell that story when I'm answering my questions.
All right.
Thank
Sounds great.
Okay.
And then, Madam President, if you don't mind giving us a little bit background about you, because I don't know much about you either, just that you used to be a lender.
Yes, yes. So I started in lending about 19 years ago. So I started my business in lending, and then in 2015 became a licensed real estate professional. And shortly after, in 2018, started my brokerage. So I have a virtual brokerage, 12 agents throughout Northern California, and virtual meaning that I don't have any type of storefront. Definitely cuts down on operation costs, and all of my agents are in different counties. So collectively, we are focused on our communities and then coming together to support one another in those respective communities.
Okay, great. I love that. I love that. So we're going to go back up to Denise. So the first question is, so what made you become a broker? Because it's not easy out there, especially being a female, especially being a woman of color. So what made you want to go and become a broker?
I became a broker for self-service, and this is something that I want to get out to everyone. You need to be able to control your own destiny. I'm a retired banker. I did lending, I did mortgage originations, and then I got into real estate. Well, I was with a company that allowed me to do anything I wanted to do. And I had a family member that I had to do a transaction for, and they insisted that I charge my family member a service fee, and I couldn't do it. So I closed that transaction and applied for my broker's license. I opened up my own company, and I've never looked back.
Okay, I love that story. That's a great story. All right, Sharon. So what made you become a broker?
Well, while working in the legal industry, I decided to go to law school, right? So I went to law school. I graduated in 2002. And then in 2006, I learned that you could get your real estate broker's license without taking any classes or anything. So I signed up to take the broker's exam in 2006, but for some reason, I did not take the exam. I just did not go. And so fast forward in 2015, I got my real estate license because I was retiring from my legal job. And so I wanted something to do after retirement. And I got my real estate license in 2015. And then I got my broker's license in 2022. And basically, it's an education thing. I take all kinds of educational classes. And so I wanted to become a broker, but since I came into this game a little late, I did not want to have agents under me or anything, but I wanted to have the wherewithal to be able to go out and be my own broker and do my own destiny, as Madam Mathis said, just in case, you never know if you're going to go out and open your own office. So I wanted that advantage. So I have it, basically.
Okay, I like that answer. Oh, I never knew that too about you, Sharon. See, I love these panels. Okay, and then what about you, Ria? What made you want to become a broker?
Well, I think that we all have a common theme of wanting to be in control. So my background is in banking as far as mortgage. So I worked for banks in the mortgage capacity. And unfortunately, my other two children's father was murdered. And I was working for the bank and I had to leave quite often because it was very highly publicized in the news. And so they were going through therapy, trauma, all that. And so one day I was coming into the branch and the branch manager, who was not even my manager, said, you sure do come in and out a lot. And I said, you know what, you're right. And so I called my manager and said, hey, I'm going to go on a leave of absence. And I said, while I'm on a leave of absence, I'm going to get my real estate license. And if I pass, I'm going to start my own brokerage and I'm out. So, needless to say, I went, took the classes, passed, and said, I guess I'm quitting. And it just was on from there, and I knew in the past in doing real estate, I've been in retail and wholesale, that I wanted my own brokerage, but I was always too scared to make that leap. And I think that sometimes when you've gone through like trauma, is like nothing can stop you after that. Like you've seen the worst, like nothing can stop you. You can do anything. And I just used that energy behind me to start my brokerage. Now I went into my brokerage saying that I was going to have a virtual brokerage, and I still went and got an office. And then when I got the office, I was like, why do I have this office? I said I was going to be virtual. So then I started renting out the office spaces because all my agents are in different counties, right? So I had 6 extra offices. So I started renting offices out to therapists, and because there was a therapy center upstairs from me, so I was like, I'll just rent the offices out to therapists. And then the owner of the building, he was the owner of the therapy clinic upstairs. So he saw what I was doing and was like, I need to rent back from you the office for one of my therapists. And I said, how about this? How about you buy me out of my lease with a couple extra thousand for the furniture, all that, and that's when he said okay. And so I got out of that office space and truly was virtual.
Well, these are good stories. Okay, so all right, so back to you, Denise. So, what challenges do you see right now that you have in our current market being a broker?
I think that the challenge is right now, of course, I forgot to cut off my phone, and that's one of my tenants, is motivating the agents in this changing market. I've been around, for a while. So I saw the .com, the everything, and then I saw the crash in 2007. And now here we are with limited inventory, and they say high interest rates. I think when I first started, interest rates were 18. And when they got to 14, we thought it was really great. Motivating the agents and getting them to produce. Okay. In my personal situation, I am a producing agent. And as I did my, 2023 profit and loss, I saw that, I was the rainmaker. Even though they supported me, they didn't really utilize the listings or the buyers to go out and develop their own business. So for me, and I have a training background. I was a trainer when I was in the bank. I went through the whole thing. It's just getting these people motivated, even though they're independent contractors. And I recently, listened to Coach Ella, where, take on, plug Coach Ella, take on a employer mentality with my agents. So right now they're in a 90-day training to, produce or say goodbye.
Oh, okay. Okay. And that's something Coachella's thought, said, or something you kind of already thought about already?
I had thought about it, but in one of her coaching sessions that I attended, she asked the brokers, what do you need? And what do we need? We need producing agents. That's what we need. Why aren't our agents producing? What's their accountability? most of us get into the business to have control and, do what we want to do when we want to do it. Well, that's great. But with each agent comes a liability. And, you just can't hang your license and just leave it there. And most agents are part-time, but, they need to do their business plan and figure out what it is they want in their life, so we can help them achieve that.
Okay. So that's the challenges that you see right now. Thank you, Denise, for
It's
sharing.
just the
Okay.
slow market and keeping them encouraged, and having them take advantage of what's out there. Case in point, and I don't know if the other brokers feel this, but we had the buyer rep broker compensation agreement that was free for like 90 days, and the class and everything, the certification, etc. I had to beg 3 and 4 times and tell them they couldn't produce if they didn't do that. I still got 2 that haven't. We also have right now through our Realtor Association where you can get your ABR designation. They won't do it. I mean, you take the agent to the water, but you can't make them drink it. So I need to know from other agents, are you guys experiencing this? But that's my biggest difficulty now, is motivating my salespeople.
Okay. All right.
I guess I'll chime in and say
Yeah.
that I can say that with Denise that's definitely a big challenge when you're dealing with contractors. And so then you do have to put in place, like initially when I started my brokerage, I didn't recruit, or I still don't recruit, but I have to be very selective about the people that choose me. And what their commitment is to me. And so it's very important to put some metrics in place to basically, make your business profitable. So, as I go through like my profit and loss, or as I grow my brokerage, at first I said, okay, well, if my agents at least cover my operation costs and I'm a producing broker, then I'm fine with that. Well, I'm 6 years, going into my 6th year now as my brokerage. That's no longer good enough for me. So as I scale up and set new parameters for my business, I I will have to put in place metrics in order to make people accountable. And so everybody has different learning curves. Also, I noticed. So I put, just so that I wasn't draining myself, I did add on a mentorship of a third-party mentor to my brokerage. So when new agents come on, before they commit to the brokerage, they have to sign up for a 90-day mentorship with my mentor, where they go over business planning and how to get started with their business. And so that took a serious load off of me, adding that piece into it so that I can stay more contractual as far as my training. And then I have my mentor that comes in with the business plans. Of course, as the year passed, and we always have to do our refresher as far as business planning. But I have to say, she was a tremendous help in assisting with that process. And also, it helped eliminate some folks, because if you're not going to invest in yourself, and I actually subtracted from my broker fee, I'm subtracting from my money so that you can invest in yourself. Now, if you don't want to take what you would pay to be a part of a brokerage to invest in yourself, then that's a sign.
No, I like it. That's very good. That's very good feedback. Um, I'll just add a little bit to that to say, also think about building culture and kind of getting to know the agents. So I've implemented myself DISC, the DISC and the 5 love languages. So you can kind of figure out what makes them tick. And kind of, if you figure out what makes them tick, that kind of helps a little bit. Because people want to be more you know, they want to know that you care. And not saying that we don't, we can get kind of tied up, but creating a culture may help also. And that's all from just all this volunteering and women's council and realtors and different things like that. I'm just being
Can I
100.
add
I
to
mean,
that? Can I
yes, of
add to
course.
that?
Yes.
So with that in mind, what I started this year, and you can see it on my page when it should post soon, Beauty and the Barber. What I've done is, because a lot of my agents have uh other sources of income, I took what their source of income is, and now I'm creating a platform around that. For instance, one of my agents is a barber, so we just did our first video, Beauty and the Barber, and I brought in his lender, and we talked about self-employed income. So now, reverse, I'm reaching out to his platform of the barber and beauty industry, and bringing it back. Another one is the 8994 Foundation. I have another agent who started a nonprofit because for her mother and sister that were murdered. And so now we are, Cotton Realty is supporting that foundation, and we're working with that foundation because that's her passion. So when that was her passion, oh, her newsletters were out, everything is popping. So I learned too that I have to see what their motivation is and build on that motivation. So I have a couple nurses. So my daughter, even she's licensed under me, but she's into holistic health. So she just had a seminar on non-toxic household items. So I was like, okay, I'm onto something. I'm finding out what they're passionate about, because it's obviously not real estate. It's not their passion. They may get excited about it and want to do it, but it's not their passion, and not, and so I think this is going somewhere. We'll see. Catch me at the end of the year, and I'll let you know.
Great idea.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so Sharon, what about you? What challenges do you seem like you face right now as a
Well,
broker?
being a broker associate signed with a brokerage, there are no challenges. I mean, I get meetings, I go to meetings with them, I take classes at my brokerage. Over the years, I have recruited a couple of agents to come to the brokerage. So if I were to go out on my own and be, an independent broker, that there are challenges I would face then. I would have to research just what do you have to do? What type of insurance do you have to get? Those kinds of things. And what are the liabilities for, agents working under you? Am I responsible for giving them leads, to work? All of those things would become a challenge if I went out as an independent broker, but I don't have any challenges right now. I guess my challenges are getting transactions and getting them to close and getting offers accepted right now in this market, but that's me.
Okay, I like that. I wanted to have a variety, which it looks like we do have a variety. You have a office, Denise?
I am virtual. I had an office, and I kept it 18 months too long and literally cried when I got rid of it. But that's $10,000 that I'm not spending now. I'm completely virtual. When I need to meet with someplace, I have partners that I can go to and use their conference rooms. And also there's conference rooms and offices that you can rent out for the hour, anywhere from $15 to $350 an hour. So in our profession, we're dealing with homes. And if you're selling your home, I need to see the home. If you're buying a home, I need to see that you're in 500 square feet and you're asking for 5,000. So a lot of times I meet the clients at their homes, and I was a Zoom consultant before we had COVID. So I have a home office. Each of my agents have a home office. We did a little thing where we cleaned out our offices and opened up the space. So that was your go-to workplace. But I've never really regretted the office not having a physical place until after I got over the initial shock.
Okay.
And I want to find out more about RIA setup, okay? Because
yeah,
it looks like the perfect scenario. We don't do floor time. what do we need, with that brick and mortar, unless you are a lender and you have to have a physical place for credit reports, etc.
Yeah, and even that you can do it at your house, plug, but that's something else. But I actually was just trying to just kind of verify if you had a spot or not, because then I was going to say you actually had an office. She was a broker associate, and then Rhea was a virtual. Because I did want to ask Rhea the question also, what are the current challenges that you have as a broker right now currently?
Well, I already mentioned with similar to Denise. So yeah, I just mentioned that. So nothing more
Okay,
than
I just
that.
want to make sure. I didn't want to
Yeah,
make sure I didn't
I'll,
skip you.
yeah, I was going to touch on, uh-oh. I was going to touch on something that Denise just said, but the thought escapes me. But the floor time. So my compensation split, I think, is very attractive to where it compensates for not having floor time, and just not to go above what we're talking about, but I do have a metaverse space, and so when it comes to floor time, I do plan on expanding floor time into a metaverse space where it's a virtual space where we get leads, but I don't give out leads. And when agents come in, I tell them that, although I still really do, but I don't offer that as a reason to come to my brokerage.
Okay.
It's all about
Oh, I
hard
like
work,
it.
hard work
All
and
right.
grit. It's
All
all about
right.
grit.
So if that's the case, so let me ask, as a broker, how do you currently, Denise, prospect? What is your two top niches or source of leads that you have focused on? Because I know usually as a broker, there's a lot of things we can do, but I'm sure over the years you've probably said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to focus in on this.
Well, Denise has always been by referral only. Okay. I'm an old Joe Stump. I went to him because he was doing what I always did. My community service, my church service, and the people around me, they keep me full of business. This year, I started looking at different sources to feed out to the agents to get them going. But more so, I kind of push them, like Rhea said, what is your interest? I have one girl that has a nonprofit. I have another one that's a professor at a university. Then I have another one. So, what are you interested in? Where can you get places? It's a cold, it's easier to have a warm lead than a cold lead. So my niche right now is, as a listing agent, I'm the probate queen. Okay. I've done probate for 15, 20 years. And I have put so many people into trust with attorneys that there really isn't that many that actually go through probate now, but people still have to liquidate. I also do a lot of military and first time homebuyer workshops. And I just get referrals. I would say 99% of my business referrals. I received maybe 2 listings from people who saw that I had closed something. One was like a $50,000 condo, and he said, hey, you sold this real quick. Can you sell mine? He was an investor. And that wasn't a direct referral, but it was because I had done something in the complex. But all of my clients are usually someone has told them about me, and we go on and do what we need to do.
Okay. All right. I like that. I love that. All right. So Ms. Robinson, how do you, you currently, and since you do have a support system, I don't know if your brokerage does anything, but tell us a
No,
little bit.
I do not get leads from my broker, but we do have a referral program. And, I'm signed up with that. So I get referrals once in a while from other agents, because the brokerage extends up into the mountains and into Placer County and Rockland and Woodland and all of those places up there. They seem to do very well up there. The listings down here, there's not a whole lot down further down. I actually live in Galt. I work out of the Elk Grove office, but I have a home office. But we do not get leads from the brokerage. So I get my own leads, a lot of referrals, and basically work with a lot of buyers right now. And I'm seeing that this market, it's very hard. It's very competitive. It has picked up. We are in the 10 plus offers, people offering 30,000 over, that sort of market right now. Yes.
Oh,
In
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, in Sacramento?
Yes. It's become a total seller's market. They want 29 days rent back at no cost. They're asking for a lot of things from the buyers right now. So it's hard to get your offer accepted, without, so that's how it
Okay.
is here.
I do offer opportunity for leads now that I think about it. So I do home buyer workshops. So we had one last summer with we partnered with NACA. There was 100 attendees there, and so the idea was all of the agents were supposed to sign people in, and then that was their lead. That was one. Another is I was the sponsor of the Stone Soul concert in Concord, California. So it's a big soulful concert, big, about 10,000 population of Black folks. So that we set up a booth, and so they were responsible. So the important thing to note on this is that I provided these opportunities, still marketed for myself, but I left it still on them to basically take the opportunity. So I wasn't going to find some way to collect all their information and then, one for you, one for you, one for you. They have to go. So there were some agents that got more leads than other agents, but it's all about your tenacity and how aggressive you are. So it kind of got a little competitive, but that's how I bring my team together too, is events. So a couple things I do. We're trying to do the Stone Soul every year. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this year again because of the market, and it costs a lot of money to sponsor a concert. So, but it was I think definitely well worth it. It paid for itself for sure. And then also, I support local organizations. So we have my husband's annual crab feed for his basketball AAU organization. So I always get a table for that. And that's a place for all the agents to come together and see each other in person. I love when they see each other. We have new agents and they see each other for the first time, but we're on Zoom every Monday night. So we have 1 hour of training and then 1 hour of sales meeting every Monday night.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's
I love
great,
that.
Ria. We could all learn from you.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Come
you
on.
guys have some very great ideas. Like, this is very a wealth of information. Okay, so Denise, what sort of advice? Oh, you're so cute, Denise. Such a character. I love it. Okay. So what advice would you give somebody who's looking to become a broker currently right now?
Good question.
Well, what is your purpose and your passion, and why are you becoming a broker? I do totally support everyone having a broker's license, whether you're a broker associate or whether you're an independent broker or you're going to be a broker of record, managing partner, or whatever. You never know what's going to happen in your life. So you need to have control. Brokers have power. So you should have a broker's license. Know whether or not managing people is for you. Know whether or not you want to be an employee under another broker, and know the startup costs, all the things that you have to do. Being a broker has a lot of liabilities along with the responsibilities, along with the rewards. So you should have a broker's license. You could be a broker associate until you're ready. The other thing about being a broker is that you can work for multiple companies. Okay. You might be with one of those big five, doing sales, but they may not allow you to do property management. But you can have that separately. You may be with another brokerage for commercial if that's where you want to go. Being a broker allows you to control your own destiny, and I'm big on control.
I love that. Okay. And
I
so,
love the
Sharon,
honesty.
I know, don't hold back anything, please. Okay.
Right.
That's
Uh,
great, Denise. We
yeah,
knew you were big on control already.
yeah. We can tell you're very regal right now, too. I mean, you're giving it to us. Like you're really serving it right now.
Well, I can't see myself, so I'm glad you guys are liking me.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay, Sharon, same question. What
Um,
advice would you give?
I would give pretty much the same advice that Denise gave, to look at it and go into it knowing how much it's going to cost, because it costs more than being an agent. I mean, decide what you're going to do. Are you going to, if you're like me, I probably will not go out as an independent broker and get agents under me, because I'm older now. I came into this at an older age, after I retired. So I just don't think that's for me. But a person thinking about getting their broker's license, if you're just coming in, you're younger, get your broker's license, know what you're going to do. Like Denise said, if it's for you to get agents under you, look into it. Just do your research. That would be my advice. Make sure to do your research.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Okay, what about you, Madam President? What's your advice?
Well, I definitely agree with everything that Denise said. Like even just supporting, I support a broker in Southern California and she supports me. We sit on each other's brokerages. So I'm on her brokerage, she's on mine, just for collaborating because we're independent brokers and to support each other. And so when she talks about control, you can do things like that. Now I started a property management company this year. I know with agents that want to work for property management or do property management, they're restricted. I actually restricted my agents from property management when I first started because I didn't want to take on that liability and it wasn't for me. So I'm like, okay, that's great, but until I'm ready, it's not going to happen, no matter what, because you'll have agents come on that have a lot of different ideas for your company, but you have your own idea, your own purpose, like Madam Denise said. So, staying true to your focus and goal and to to stick with your expectations of what you want from an agent. So I actually went in saying I was fine with having part-time agents because I didn't want to be one of those brokers that said, quit your job and be an agent, that I didn't want to do. But what I've learned is that doesn't mean that I can't hire people that are full-time agents. So it might not have been that I'm allowing part-time, but I can allow people that are making their own choice to be full-time. And so if I were to do it all over again, I would only bring on full-time agents. Because I'm a boutique brokerage, I'm not charging. A lot of these larger brokerages can charge enough to make it make sense. So I'm charging a nominal fee. I'm giving you a great compensation split. I owe it to myself to have people working full time. And I give a lot of value.
Yeah, I know, I love it. I'm like, woo, this is a strong panel. I'm more than happy how this is turning out.
Yes, and I just
Turned out very
learned
good.
something. I just learned something from Denise, that I could go to another brokerage and do property management. I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't know I could do that.
DRE allows you to do that, but you have to make sure that the current brokerage that you are with will also allow it. But DRE is fine with them.
Okay, yes, I've asked them about it and they're looking into it and they will probably add it at some time later, but I'll ask him.
Yeah, property management is a big liability. So you probably will have to, oh, well, you got your JD. You'll have to do some hold harmless and stuff like that just to protect them, to make sure. I had an agent that did my property management last year, but she also had 450 doors as an employee someplace else. But I, got the right legal documents that any of those 450 doors did not come back on me.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Now,
Interesting.
this is the question that wasn't on the thing, but I have to ask it.
Oh,
So as
Lord.
we all are in, as you know, all of us are in organizations and volunteer organizations. Tell me how you've been able to work your business and be an effective member of all these volunteer organizations that all of us are a part of. So would you like to go first, Denise?
Well, since you like to pick on me first, I will go. I think I belong to many organizations. I am a CAR director. I'm a local association director. I serve on 3 committees at my association, 3 committees at CAR. I'm not doing anything at NAR. I'm the past president for the California Association of Real Estate Brokers. I serve as an advisor. I'm on 3 committees. I am doing too much work for my local NARAB chapter right now. I've taken on Realtors Week. I'm a women's council for the state, leadership development, and been very active there. A member of the local women's council. What else? Oh, and I belong to ARIA and NARAB. And then I'm on a board, fancy board and a education board and a member of the church. All of my volunteer work fits into my business plan. Every single part of it. I do my calendar, and you know how you have the 3rd Tuesday of the month is CAREB. I put it there because I'm supposed to be there. And I get stuff from them. I get stuff from Women's Council. And I get lots of information from the realtor organizations to pass on to the other organizations. And I just make it work. Being an independent broker, I don't spend a lot on advertising, but in San Diego, my name and my face is known. That's because I'm out there, and it's always easier to work with someone you know when you're submitting offers or when you're getting offers, and the respect is there. So I joined initially so I could be known, and I have name recognition.
Okay. Oh, all right. I love that. Love that answer. Okay, Sharon, same question, please.
Okay, you know that I'm involved in a lot of different organizations. I'm on 3 boards. I'm on my association board. I'm on the Sacramento Realtors Association board, and I'm on the California Association of Real Estate Brokers board as parliamentarian. I no longer have a position with Women's Council of Realtors, but I assist the Sacramento network whenever I can, because that's my network. I have 3 CAR committees that I'm on, and I do all of this so that, so that I can make a difference in my community. I mean, we're looking at democracy and housing. As a result of trying to be involved and help our communities, I'm also a member of ARIA. I'm a member of NORA, the National Hispanic Organization. I'm a member of LGBTQ Plus Alliance. And I try to support as many organizations of a diverse nature as possible so that we can grow in our communities. We need to have a seat at the table. So, and Denise is right. She's out there. Everybody knows her. I've been doing this since 2015, so I don't think my name is out there like that yet, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to do all I can to help our communities.
Oh no, and we appreciate you. I know you're always there. Very, very
You
for it.
froze.
Okay, and Rhea, same question, please. I
Yes,
froze?
I agree with Denise being if you make it a part of your business plan, it's natural. But yeah, I have a few organizations that I'm a part of, and then I have part of organizations outside of real estate. So I am the corporate sponsor money person for the Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir. Um, so, um, so I'm connecting with people on a corporate level for them on a volunteer basis in exchange for an underwriting sponsorship. So that's their highest level of sponsors. So basically, in exchange for my work, I actually get the some branding for my company through them. And then I had mentioned earlier, my husband has an AAU basketball organization that he's had for 30 years. So supporting that, and like Denise said, all these organizations that you're a part of can't do anything but brand you and increase and support your business. So and it's just like, you give, and then the Lord gives back. So I feel like I'm so blessed. I've been through a lot in my life, so I always like to give back. There's been some women groups that have reached out to me to talk about real estate, and I tell them, I'm like, I have a story, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff that I can give to my community that's just still outside of real estate. So I think that in our roles, we kind of naturally probably have a passion for that. In being that we are in real estate, we're creating home ownership, we're creating opportunity. So it's only natural that we're giving back to our communities.
Yes. Okay, I love that. All right, so I actually want to go through final thoughts. What's something you would want to leave with us? Before that, I also want to say this has been the most informative panel that I've been on for a minute. I'm so happy that all of you guys agreed to do it, and I've learned so much just being on here from every single one of you. Hopefully, everyone out there has, and whoever sees the recording would just be like very delighted that you're actually in our organization too, Democracy in Housing. So, Denise, give us your final thoughts. Your final thoughts, and you can go for a minute, but
Okay, give me the one finger, okay? Because give me a mic, and you think I'm a pastor. Again, I want to encourage everyone to control your destiny. Get your broker's license. I personally, as president, had a vision to create a nonprofit, and part of that nonprofit for CAREB was to be able to assist and reimburse people who went out and got their broker's license. That it meant a lot to me to see people have a broker's license, whether or not you're using it as an independent broker of record, just do that. Something that I haven't said, being a broker is part of my retirement plan. And that is why I am really trying to get my agents in a producing mode. I always said I was going to go to KW when I got ready to retire to get the profit share and blah, 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 blah. I can do that on my own. Okay. I don't need a lot, but if I am the broker of record and I have a managing broker and my name is out there and there's 10 producing agents in there, that's income for me every month. And all I'm doing is signing checks and checking off stuff. So it's a retirement to add on to, everything else that I have going on.
Okay. All right, thank you for the final thoughts. What about you, Sharon? What are your final thoughts? Final things you want to leave us with?
One final thing I'd like to leave everyone with who is considering getting a broker's license: study for the broker's license. You need to study for it because it is nothing like the real estate license, and you have to study in order to pass that exam. I remember when I took it, I studied really hard. And when I took the exam, it was like all the questions that I had studied were the same. So it was very easy for me. So make it that way for yourself. Don't think that you're just going to go in there and take that exam and pass it, because I've heard a lot of people, a lot of my friends say, well, I've taken it a couple of times and I couldn't pass it. Well, you can if you study. That's it.
Okay.
That's my final word.
Good final words. I'm with you on that one. And I can co-sign on that. You have to study it for sure. Okay, and what about you, Madam President?
Definitely everyone should have or aspire to have their broker's license, even if they want to just do sales. But my final thought is if you do want to start your own brokerage, don't be discouraged by branding and names. Remember that people are doing business with you because of who you are. And so a lot of people kind of said, well, how are you going to leave a big brokerage and start your own company? And I was like, this was just a stepping stone. I came into that brokerage saying, I'm only here long enough to get my broker's license because I had to submit like an exception form so that my mortgage experience could suffice, so I didn't have to wait full 2 years to get my broker's license. And just really know that you are your own business. So just like a big corporate entity, you have to have marketing, you have to have policy and procedure, you have to have structure in place, and you have to have a customer experience. And I think if you have all of that, you'll excel, and don't let that whole name thing stop.
All right. Well, ladies, this, like I said, is Women's Month. We are going to be celebrating Women's Month all month. Is there any other announcements? I think we are having a membership. I think you announced that, but would you want to announce it again? Because we have some more people on the call that weren't here when you announced it.
Sure, definitely. So look on our events page on careb.org for the membership speed networking mixer. We'll be switching out breakout rooms via Zoom online on March 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. I believe the first few 20 or so people that log in will get a $15 gift certificate to Uber Eats. I think it's going to be a great fun time and a great way to network across our state. And I hope to see more of these events as we head to national, because we want to come collectively at national in New Orleans and make a big impact, as we always do.
All right, great. Okay, everyone, as you know, our power hour is every other Thursday. So our next power hour will be actually benefits of being a broker. We're going to actually have 2 male brokers and probably 2 female brokers on there, but we're trying to get different aspects of what it is to be a broker. We probably have a property management person on there and all that type of different stuff. But either way, we're going to have a fun packed, interesting, totally educational thing. And we appreciate everybody being here. So enjoy the rest of your day and be on the lookout for our education committee meeting and our conference meeting.
Thank you, Parisha.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you, Parisha.